You are listening to the Young Sports Cast. Stay tuned.
Anybody else tired of the critics out there for the Chicago Bears and against the quarterbacks of the Chicago Bears? I personally take it personal when I see the critics that have been screaming for the Chicago Bears to do something with the organization. They have been screaming since Lovie Smith was gone. We can't find a quarterback. Quarterbacks go to Chicago to die. This is not an organization that you want to play in. This is a terrible organization. Why? Because they're not up with the times. The times have changed. The play calling has changed. What did they do? Poles says, you know what? I'm going to build this organization, and I'm going to hire Ben Johnson, who's up with the times, believes in strategy, play calling, movement. He is the new era. They have Caleb Williams. He can play in this system. But the media, the critics, I should say the media. There's some media that's on board with the Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. But I'm talking about the critics of the Chicago Bears. For years, you guys have talked about the Chicago Bears getting up with the times. They have done that with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, right? And all the coaching staff that goes along with it. This is the new era of Bears, Chicago Bears. And now I'm asking all the critics to come up to our time as well, because they're still living in the past. They're still living in the early 2000s when the Bears weren't that great, right? Last time we were great was Lovie Smith. But we haven't had anything since, so to speak. But the critics have preached to the Chicago Bears, come on, let's get into the 2020s. Let's come on. This is not the system that you're going to have quarterbacks stay. This is not the system that is quarterback friendly. This is not the system. And they go on and on and on about how bad the organization is with the Chicago Bears. But now that they have a good organization and they have an awesome coach that's with the times, the media is now in the past. And it's time they catch up. It's time they catch up and understand that the Chicago Bears have a different mentality than they did before. And it all starts with, my opinion, some people might not like this, some people might disagree, but it started with Poles. It started with Warren, and it started with McCaskey. When they decided to go after Ben Johnson, that was something they had not done before when they fired Eberflus mid-season. You want to talk about an organization that wants to change and wants to get better and has a desire to win? This is the team. We're talking about an organization that went out and got Ben Johnson for a premium. And we have not seen that before. Before they were saying, you know what, who's the cheapest guy that we can get to coach? And we're going to go with him. Go out and get Ben Johnson. They completely, in my opinion, redo the offensive line, which was an absolute fiasco. And that's a whole different podcast that could be done. They go out and do that. Has Poles been perfect? No. But his mentality is with the times, and we're going to change, and we're going to be a better organization. They have done that. Media, you need to step up. Critics, you need to step up and understand this is not the same Chicago Bears where quarterbacks go to die. It's not. This is a quarterback-friendly team, and Ben Johnson has made it that way. Now, that being said, I want to talk a little bit about the Chicago Bears coaching. Last year was a great example of that when the players did not necessarily buy into the system. So we had Eberflus, which was it didn't sound like it went good in the locker room. Obviously, didn't look good on paper with how many wins we had. Didn't look good on how the games were managed. That was obvious, which led to him being fired, terminated midseason. They also got rid of Shane Waldron. So there was two coaches right there that they got rid of that directly influenced how Caleb Williams played in his growth in the NFL, right? It was one thing after another last year. But this year, Ben Johnson comes in. And my biggest fear with Ben Johnson was this guy's going to be hard. This guy's going to be tough. And if you're a player that doesn't want to play, they're just there for the money and you don't want to win, right? And you're just doing whatever. This program's not going to work. And when they first hired Ben, I'm like, how many players are going to be playing at that level? Or they're just say, screw it, trade me. I'm out of here. I ain't going to do this, right? But now I see the team as an entire whole from what I've seen, buying into this Ben Johnson system. Great example of that was yesterday. They had 4 sessions. One of the sessions was tackle. The other 3, they were not going to have tackle. They were just going to be, okay, hard and then stop. They went hard all 4 sessions. They're buying into the Ben Johnson theory. I mean, this is everything a Bears fan is looking for. I mean, then you have the coaches. You have Randall L. The guy cracks me up. He's got so much energy, and you see the players fueling off of that, right? You see the players fueling off of this. You see Ben Johnson yelling at the players. You see Ben Johnson, if they do something wrong, he pulls them out of that play. We're going to get this right. Critics, this is a different team. And if you can't open your eyes and see the difference that this team is versus what it's been in let's just say the last 5 years, right? For sure last year. Then you obviously have not been watching what's going on. It's a different team, a different era that we're in. And I see polls too. I just heard something on the other day on social media, on the news, podcast, whatever it was, that said he's consistently on the phone. So he's consistently trying to build this team per what Ben Johnson is feeding him. And that brings up another point. I'm talking really fast because there's a lot to go over. But Poles believes in Ben Johnson. And when Ben says, this is what I need, Poles is on the phone. They are together on this. Last year, from what I felt and what I kind of got a glimpse of as it went on this year, was Poles was ecstatic and excited that he had someone that understood football. And I think he made a comment, and I don't know where that script is, but he basically said, this is exciting working with somebody that really speaks football. Well, of course, he didn't have that last year. Not at all, in my opinion. So you see those two working together, and Ben is giving Poles idea, and Poles giving Ben ideas. And this is just, and the players are buying into this. I mean, this is a team effort. So critics, take everything you thought you knew about the Chicago Bears and just go ahead and throw it in the trash, because this is a different era than you have seen. And you told us to get here. We are here, but you're not. You're still back there. So catch up and bear down.